You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman.
And I'm Trenton Whiting.
Now here is an update for school closures. Some school districts are making changes to next week's schedule because of the weather. At this time now, Victoria ISD, Victoria Christian School Industrial, and have canceled classes for Tuesday and Wednesday. All Warden County Junior College campus will be closed. Goliad Independent School District, Nazareth Academy, Tidehaven, Palacios, Bay City, and Van Vliet School District have canceled classes for Tuesday. Calhoun ISD also canceled classes Tuesday with a 2-hour delay start on Wednesday. Victoria Colleges has also announced that they will be closed Monday through Wednesday. You can get these latest changes, delays, and closures on our website at crossroadstoday.com. Now the University of Houston, Victoria, has announced an extension to its closure following Martin Luther King Jr. Day. UHV will now remain closed on Tuesday, January the 21st and Wednesday the 22nd due to the winter weather conditions.
And due to those weather conditions, here's a reminder that warming centers are opening in several Crossroads communities for those needing to get out of the cold. Our Lady of Sorrows and the Salvation Army in Victoria will be open from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. today through next Thursday. Early next week, when the temperatures will be coldest, those locations will also be open during the day. And Cuero is opening 2 warming centers this week as well. The Cuero Fire Department will be open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the Cuero Municipal Library will be open Tuesday through Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Palacios, an all-night warming center will be available Sunday through Tuesday night at 1001 5th Street.
Now it is time to check in on our weather with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Miney. Trey.
And good evening, everyone. Trey Miney here once again, looking at the almanac for today. Give you kind of a clue how cold we're actually going to be getting, and already are there. Matter of fact, 48 degrees was the high today, low 33 degrees, was 1 degree above freezing. Our normals were 65 and 44, definitely below normals on both counts, and getting even colder than these coming up the next couple of days. We'll see some lows in the teens coming up, in addition to snow and sleet and heavy freezing rain chances. What's the possibilities there? We'll take a look coming up in your full forecast.
The memory of 4 men lost to a plane crash in 2023 survives tonight through the redemption story led by Harvest Church in Memphis. The plane was on its way from Memphis to Yoakum before crashing just a few miles from the municipal airport. The lone survivor, Dr. Kenan Vaughn, holds this event in the same field as the wreck to inspire others through his lessons of pain and adversity following the fatal crash. The event is 2 nights and ends tonight after music and a message from Vaughn himself. And tomorrow is a celebration of Martin Luther King Jr., and the celebration is still on Monday in Victoria.
And the MLK Day March starts at 10 a.m. at Palestine's Baptist Church on East Convent. It will end at Bethlehem Baptist Church on South Depot, where a community program begins at 11 a.m. with guest speaker Pastor Larry Green. And that leads us to your viewer poll tonight. Are you planning to attend the MLK March tomorrow? So far, that is in the lead. It's no, 92%. And yes is at 8%. Well, you still have time to participate in our viewer poll. So in order to participate, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com/vote. The Lions Club motto is to serve in its community, a service that the Victoria chapter of the Lions Club celebrate this weekend. The Lions Club of Victoria celebrates 100 years of service to the community. Members said that so much has changed in the community, but the Lions Club dedication to serve continues to remain the same. The celebration includes color guard flag presentations, several speakers, award ceremony, and finish with a keynote speaker, Mike Butler, past International Director of the Lions Club.
Members of the VEDC Regional Partnership, the partnership meeting originally scheduled for Tuesday, January 21st has been postponed due to the expected inclement weather. The new meeting date is set for Tuesday, January 28th. Stay safe, stay warm, and they'll see you next week.
Now, Ursula Odom, a local OIB worker and an advocate for the vocational rehabilitation service. Her work focused on assisting blind patients in the workforce in the state of Texas. Odom's desire to help those with a similar disability as hers and what continues to inspire to keep pushing forward.
I actually have had my vision loss It's been 30 years because let's see here. I actually had, it was a birth control that was just very, it was very hard on my body, and it made me have very, very bad headaches.
Now, Houston is bracing for a winter storm that could dump up to 6 inches of snow and sleet on Monday and Tuesday and force the closure of the city's airport. CN and brine trucks, the utility trucks, are lined up and ready to roll in anticipation of what Houston mayor is calling a serious and dangerous storm. Schools and government offices will be closing, and the mayor says the city two airports, George Bush Intercontinental Airports and the William Hobby Airport, will be closed starting at midnight Tuesday morning.
I've been convinced that we are about to experience a very serious and dangerous weather episode. We've been preparing since Thursday for the intense temperature, but now we've learned that there will be precipitation.
So if you plan to travel out of Bush or Hobby on Tuesday, it will be closed. As Texas lawmakers wrap up the first week of the 2025 legislative sessions, Governor Greg Abbott has signaled another public education priority he wants on their list. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com. And for more on today's news story, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Strain and Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them. Coming up, TikTok is back after a temporary ban. But what's next for the app?
Freezing conditions overnight tonight with a freeze warning in effect coming in at midnight. What about freezing precipitation chances? We'll take a look coming up.
The first group of Palestinian prisoners has been released from an Israeli prison in the occupied West Bank as part of the ceasefire deal. According to the Israeli Prison Service, 90 prisoners and detainees, all women and children, were released early Monday after 3 Israeli hostages were freed from Hamas captivity in Gaza and returned to Israel. Scores of cheering Palestinians surrounded a large bus as it exited the gates of Israel's Offer prison, just outside of the West Bank city of Ramallah. They are on their way to at least one drop-off location, where many will be reunited with family and friends. Israel had detained them for what it said were offenses related to Israel's security, from throwing stones to more serious accusations like attempted murder.
President-elect Trump is back in the nation's capital for the eve of his second inauguration. He's holding a final victory rally inside the Capital One Arena. He's supporting lining up for blocks. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent Selena Wang.
Tonight, President-elect Donald Trump taking a victory lap on the eve of his inauguration.
We won. We won. Take back our country. Tomorrow at noon, the curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline, and we begin a brand new day of American strength and prosperity, dignity and pride.
Trump supporters traveling from across the country to celebrate in the nation's capital.
Greatest American comeback in American history.
What is the #1 thing that you want Trump to do?
end the war in Ukraine.
It's been a long 4 years, and I'm ready.
First Lady Melania Trump and the president-elect arriving from West Palm Beach overnight for the festivities, taking in fireworks from Trump's National Golf Club in Virginia. Tonight, the nation's capital on high alert with 25,000 security personnel and 30 miles of barricades. Nearly 8,000 National Guard troops from 40 states also supporting local police. The United States Secret Service saying today that while the country remains in a heightened threat environment, there is no active direct threat to the inauguration.
The intensely cold weather has upended Donald Trump's inauguration plans. Instead of holding an outdoor parade, Trump will come back here to this very same arena tomorrow for an inauguration celebration event. Selena Wang, ABC News, Washington.
Sources tell CNN President Biden and President-elect Donald Trump will ride in the same limousine when they travel to the U.S. Capitol on Monday ahead of the inauguration. The two did not ride together 4 years ago when Trump skipped Biden's swearing in. But prior to 2021, it had been a tradition for the outgoing and incoming presidents to travel together to the Inauguration Day ceremony. Monday's inauguration will take place inside the Capitol Rotunda. The ceremony was moved indoors because of sub-freezing temperatures forecast for Washington, D.C. on Monday.
Now, CNN also has learned President Biden plans to leave Trump a letter that will continue a modern presidential tradition of former president passing along good wishes to successors. Donald Trump is expected to sign more than 50 executive orders after he takes the oath of office on Monday. A person on Trump's transition team tells NBC News that Trump could possibly sign more than 100 executive orders on the first day of his presidency. One order is expected to focus on the southern border and crack down on illegal immigration.
California's devastating Palisades fire is now 49% contained. Firefighters are battling two major blazes in Los Angeles County. The second fire is the Eaton Fire, which as of Saturday night remains at 73% contained. Both fires have stayed the same size for the past week, with the Palisades Fire at nearly 24,000 acres and the Eaton Fire at more than 14,000 acres. They both began burning on January 7th, nearly 2 weeks ago.
Now, TikTok appears to be coming back online just hours after President-elect Donald Trump pledged executive order Monday aimed to restore the banned app. Around 12 hours after first shutting itself down, U.S. users began to have access to TikTok on a web browser and in the app. Although the page still showed a warning about the shutdown, the U.S. ban on the social media platform went into effect late Saturday night. That's after a bipartisan law banned TikTok over a data privacy concern. The Supreme Court upheld the ban last week. However, Trump says he planned on issuing an executive order Monday after his inauguration to temporarily delay the ban. Trump also proposed that the U.S. could take a 50% ownership position in TikTok as part of a, quote, joint venture. Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Freeze warning in effect for overnight tonight. What about the snow chances? We'll take a look coming up. And good evening, everyone. Let's get into this chilly forecast. And we'll run this model all the way through. By 11 o'clock, we'll be just above freezing, probably at the freezing mark at that time. And then below freezing, definitely 20s showing up by 2 a.m. 30 degrees in Victoria, more than likely even freezing conditions right along the immediate coast. Definitely a cold morning coming up. And then not rising too much more than this coming up for your day on Monday, highs in the low 40s. And then the frozen precipitation chances begin about midnight or so on Tuesday. So during this time here, where temperatures at or below freezing, the freezing rain, sleet, or snow could be falling around the region at that time. So be weather aware. Let's give a timeline here of what we expect happening. High pressure to the north has kept the clouds and precipitation all the way suppressed through in the Gulf of Mexico, but it's moving to the east, allowing that southerly fluid to take hold in the upper levels of the atmosphere and bringing back the moisture content around the mid-Texas coast. Looks like by the time we get to your Monday, 8 o'clock in the evening, looks like it could be some frozen precipitation chances right along I-10, about Hallettsville northward more than likely. Getting close to Victoria, so we have to watch it during this time after sunset tomorrow, and also expanding in a pretty big way. Look at this, by the time we get to 6 a.m. on your Tuesday, pretty much all the area encompassing with reasonable precipitation and snowfall potential. Some of this could be a little bit on the heavy side, according to this model right here. It really has ramped up in the last couple of hours here, looking at these model runs. And they'll continue to be the case right on through 11 o'clock in the morning, through the noon hour. By 3 o'clock, it begins to push offshore as high pressure builds in. So that'll be the end of the frozen precipitation event, but it looks like a pretty good likelihood of seeing that from about midnight or so on your Tuesday morning to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right along that window right there for your Tuesday. So that's the part you need to be mindful of. After that, we still stay cold with lows in the teens coming up. I'll show you that here shortly on the 7-day outlook. Cuero, starting off below freezing with clouds increasing throughout the day. High temperatures near 40 degrees. And then coming up for your Port Lavaca, a little bit of sunshine in the morning time, but that'll be it. Cloudy skies the rest of the time period with highs only in the low 40s. And then in Victoria, about the same northerly winds, make it feel rather chilly, downright bone chilly cold in my opinion, with cloudy skies with the time period as well, with highs only near 40 degrees. Now let's get into the planning forecast. Alert day, what day tomorrow. After sunset, after the PM hours, we're expecting the rain to begin to move into our region here. Some of that on the frozen side, as you know, through the overnight hours and through most of the day on Tuesday, with a pretty good frozen precipitation snow event, more than likely by the AM hours. Tuesday, by the afternoon, it begins to move on out. And then we have a bitterly cold coming up, lows in the teens coming up for your Wednesday, so you better have your pipes wrapped by then if you don't have them already. It'll be dangerously cold. But we will begin to warm up a little bit with some sunshine returning. But take a look at this, folks. Near 70 degrees, just in time for the weekend. The weekend's looking fabulous, by the way. Highs near 70. In the meantime, be weather aware. Frozen precipitation chances beginning late in the day on your Monday through most of the day on Tuesday, so be off the roads, stay safe and stay warm. And then the gradual warm up coming up after we get through about Wednesday or so. Very hard freeze on your Wednesday morning, so be careful and make sure everyone is safe and warm. And finally above 70 by the weekend. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. What you need to do is get your smartphone, you haven't already, scan the code that you see right there. That'll take you to a webpage. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient. Be connected with us here in the Crossroads.
Now, we had technical difficulties earlier, but this package is very important to run, so we're going to try this one more time. Ursula Odom, a local OIB worker and an advocate for vocational rehabilitation service, her work focused on assisting blind patients in the workforce in the state of Texas. Here are the details.
I actually have had my vision loss, it's been 30 years because, let's see here, I actually had, it was a birth control that was just very, it was very hard on my body, and it made me have very, very bad headaches.
At the time, Autumn was grappling with questions no mother should ever have to ask. Losing her vision left her with a host of unanswered questions and wonder.
I mean, of course, when you have that vision loss and didn't know that was going to happen, I mean, it's very earth-shattering. I had a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old at the time when that happened, and I was married, and I just didn't think that I was going to be able to be a mom.
Autumn decided it was time to tap into her other senses and see the world in a new way. She motivates others by trusting their instincts and encouraging them to follow what they feel.
You can do this. It's, these are not blindness things. I mean, because I used to worry about, oh my God, I can't find my 2-year-old, because she was up under the bed with the toothpaste. Mm-hmm. Well, we learned that, we need to use our other senses.
Despite her blindness, she didn't let it stop her from working with others and motivating them to keep going.
And that's when I started working with the state in 2004. It was very different, but that's where I learned that there were other people who were blind or visually impaired. And I started seeing blindness in a different way.
She worked with others who were blind and supporting them with their cases. In doing so, she gained a new perspective.
Find where they fit in, and just all about just being proactive with finding the resources. A lot of joy in it and being able to make a difference in these people's lives.
Odom hopes to continue to help others who share the same similarities and encourage them to have a community. Amaya Norman, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
Like you said, an important story for those who are disabled and can't see as well. So very important story. But right now we'll pass it right to Ray for sports.
Thank you, guys. The finals of the wheelchair basketball tournament concluded today. See who won and hear from the winner and more in sports. The wheelchair basketball tournament for the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation concluded today. The Texas Outlaws, who won last year, finished second this year, losing to the San Antonio Parasports Wheelchair Organization, a unique sport that can exceed expectations. On the second and final day of the wheelchair basketball tournament, the competition reached its peak. But in the rise of high-level competition, it's important to understand the regulation in wheelchair basketball, thanks to head officiator David Nurse.
I guess the whole main concept of the game is with the chairs, is that it's just like able body. The chair, any contact with the chair with another player constitutes a foul. Okay, so you have a foul on that one. So they shoot just normally, just like able body would, free throws, and then of course they shoot from the perimeter as well, just like regular able body would too as well.
But we're talking the final game of the tournament for the first and second place that pitted the Texas Outlaws against the San Antonio Parasports. This game went into overtime with every crucial play mattering the most. And it was this player right here, Christopher Pettaway, whose play led to overtime. But Chris also had a hand in the game-deciding play that won them the game.
They definitely were tough competition. They beat us yesterday. It was like getting a get back today for yesterday. So just glad we pulled it out.
In the spirit of tough competition, great sportsmanship should always follow. And that was on display from Lucas of the NOLA crew, who placed in third, and head coach from the Texas Outlaws, who placed second. Right, awesome, and make sure we'll hear more from that. But some sad news out of the Crossroads, and it's with our Bay City friends and family, which is Bay City football broadcaster Simon DeSoto has passed away. His career spans for 30 years at Bay City, to which he most notably includes the Black Cats State Championship after beating Denton Ryan in 2000. DeSoto was 69. Keep the town of Bay City in your thoughts. The Tidehaven girls basketball team with one of their toughest challenges this season as they prepare to take on the Columbus Cardinals. Well, this game has been rescheduled to tomorrow. This is due to the upcoming severe weather. The action will also receive a special start time at 3 p.m. No JV games will be played. So best of luck to the Tidehaven girls. Houston was able to lock in last night, take care of business. They took on the Portland Trail Blazers. Remember last night we talked about them. They were up just by 1 at halftime last night. But this game saw the dynamic duo of Alfred Shangoon and Jalen Green both have excellent games. Their Shangoon skillfully laying it in. Dylan Brooks had a better second half as well. There he is with a nice and one. Brooks went on to finish the game with 22 points. Jalen Green had 26, and Alfred Shangoon had 23 points. The Rockets having a well-balanced offense. After a trio finishing with 20-plus points apiece, the Rockets won the game. Final score, 125-103. And yesterday, we might have witnessed some questionable calls from the officiators on the game that saw some roughing up of the passer in the first quarter. So my question for you guys here in the Crossroads is, did the officiating play a role in the Texans-Chiefs divisional round matchup? It looks like we got 78% that says yes, and that seems pretty, that seems pretty official, Big congrats to the Texans on a great season, and best wishes to a speedy recovery on Tank Dell. But that does it for your sports. Amaya and Trenton.
Thank you so much, Ray, for that sports knowledge, as always. Now, coming up, pizza, burgers, and nachos have one thing in common. We'll celebrate our favorite dairy product next. Now we have time for one last look at your weather. Trey?
Once again, let's take a recap of the weather conditions that we're expecting. Monday throughout the majority of the day on the dry side, except after about 6 o'clock in the evening or so. Could be some frozen precipitation already during that time along I-10, expanding into the Crossroads overnight, Monday night into your day Tuesday with highs at or below freezing. And then hard freeze for Wednesday. And then improving conditions toward the end of the week, highs above 70 by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. So be careful out there and make sure that everyone is warm and safe. Stay off the roads, and we'll keep you informed. Make it a great day and a great week.
Now grab the fondue set, order a cheese pizza with a side of mac and cheese. Monday, America is celebrating all things cheesy. January 20th, it's the National Cheese Lover Day. We don't know how making cheese all started, but the earliest record of gooey goodness date back to like the 5500s of BCE. Cheese has a special place in Americans' hearts and diets. If you don't believe me, just look at the National Day calendar. This is just one of 18 other cheese-specific days honoring cheese in some form or fashion. There's National String Cheese Day in September, National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day in April, and National Cheesecake Day in July.
Oh, that's a lot of cheese.
That's a lot of cheese.
That's a whole lot of cheese, man. I don't know, man.
Not a day to celebrate if you're lactose intolerant.
You can still celebrate. You're just going to suffer for it.
Oh,
yeah.
my
Is it
God.
worth it, the price of celebrating cheese,
I can't speak for them, but I would say so.
Absolutely.
I guess so. I mean, I like cheese. But
I mean, I like cheese too. I'll have some.
I like cheese. But thank you for joining us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Crossroads Today. And join Carolina Strawn and Parker Cox for 25 News Now, sunrise at 5. Have a good night.